Why did Jesus choose the mustard seed to illustrate the kingdom of God? Picture yourself among the crowds gathered to hear Jesus speak. He often used simple, everyday objects to convey deep spiritual truths, making his teachings accessible and memorable. In this parable, Jesus chooses a mustard seed. But why a mustard seed? Don't miss out on this unique discovery. We researched this narrative heavily to find out the biblical truth reflecting on this most profound parable of Jesus Christ. All devout Christians know about the mustard seed, but few know the full story. Let our experience lead the way, as our channel founder has worked with his Christian church for over a decade. And our vantage point is unique in this never-before-seen analysis on why Jesus chose the mustard seed of all things. The mustard seed, though one of the smallest seeds, grows into one of the largest garden plants, symbolizing the potential for great things to emerge from humble beginnings. What message does the mustard seed carry about the kingdom of God? In Matthew 13:31-32, Jesus says, "The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his field. Though it is the smallest of all seeds, yet when it grows, it is the largest of garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds come and perch in its branches." The mustard seed represents the kingdom of God starting small, but growing into something vast and encompassing, illustrating how faith and the divine work can expand beyond our expectations. How can something so small be so significant? The mustard seed is renowned for its minuscule size. It's one of the smallest seeds known to people at the time, almost insignificant in appearance. Yet Jesus uses it to illustrate that the kingdom of God and our faith often start from humble beginnings. The significance of the mustard seed lies not in its size, but in its potential. Just like the mustard seed, our faith might begin small, perhaps as a simple belief, a prayer, or an act of kindness. These small beginnings are vital, for they hold the potential to grow into something mighty and transformative. What does planting the mustard seed symbolize in our spiritual lives? In the parable, a man takes the mustard seed and plants it in his field. Planting represents an act of faith. It's an investment in something unseen, trusting that it will grow. This act of planting is a metaphor for our own spiritual journey. Just as a farmer prepares the soil and tends to the seed, we must nurture our faith through prayer, study, and good deeds. Even if we don't see immediate results, we trust that growth is happening beneath the surface. How does the growth of the mustard seed reflect the kingdom of God? Though the mustard seed starts small, it grows into the largest of garden plants, becoming a tree. This transformation symbolizes the kingdom of God's expansive and inclusive nature. From small beginnings, it grows to encompass all who seek refuge in it. The mustard seed's growth from a tiny seed to a large tree represents the exponential growth of the kingdom of God. It starts small, perhaps with a few believers, but grows to include people from all nations and backgrounds. What do the birds in the mustard tree symbolize? The tree provides a home for birds to perch in its branches. This imagery highlights the kingdom of God as a place of rest, refuge, and comfort for all. No matter how small or insignificant we feel, there is a place for us in God's kingdom. Birds seeking shelter in the branches of the mustard tree symbolize people finding refuge and comfort in God's kingdom. It is a place of safety and rest where all are welcome and cared for. How does individual faith contribute to the growth of the kingdom of God? The initial growth of the mustard seed represents individual spiritual growth. As each believer nurtures their faith, they grow in their relationship with God and in their ability to live out His teachings. As individuals grow, they contribute to the growth of the faith community. Just as many mustard seeds can create a large grove, many believers working together can create a strong, vibrant church or community. Thus, personal and communal growth are interconnected, each fostering the other. What practical steps can we take to nurture our faith? Engage in daily practices that nurture your faith, such as prayer, reading the Bible, and meditation. These practices are like watering and tending to the seed, ensuring it has the nourishment needed to grow. Additionally, actively participate in service and outreach activities. Helping others not only demonstrates your faith in action, but also plants seeds in the lives of those you serve. Commit to continuous learning about your faith, attending Bible studies, listening to sermons, and reading spiritual books to deepen your understanding and keep your faith growing. What other biblical stories highlight the theme of small beginnings leading to great outcomes? One significant example is the story of Gideon in Judges 6:7. Gideon, initially a reluctant leader, is chosen by God to lead Israel against the Midianites. Despite his doubts and the small size of his army, Gideon's faith and obedience lead to a miraculous victory. This story emphasizes that God's power often works through humble and seemingly insignificant beginnings to achieve great things. How does the story of Elijah and the widow at Zarephath relate to the theme of faith and provision? In 1 Kings 17:8-16, the prophet Elijah encounters a widow gathering sticks during a severe drought. He asks her for water and bread, but she has only a handful of flour and a little oil. Despite her dire circumstances, she obeys Elijah's request, and God miraculously provides for her and her son throughout the famine. This narrative highlights how a small act of faith and obedience can lead to abundant blessings and provision. What lessons can we draw from the feeding of the 5,000 in the New Testament? In John 6:1-14, Jesus performs the miracle of feeding 5,000 people with just 5 barley loaves and 2 fish, provided by a young boy. This story illustrates that even the smallest contributions, when offered in faith, can be multiplied by God to meet the needs of many. It reinforces the idea that God's kingdom grows and flourishes through small acts of faith and generosity. How can we live out the lessons of the parable of the mustard seed? The parable of the mustard seed teaches us that the kingdom of God grows from small beginnings, requires acts of faith, and provides a place of refuge for all. Reflect on your life and consider the small seeds of faith you can plant today. Remember, no act of faith is too small to make a difference. Take time to reflect on what small acts of faith you can start today. Whether it's reaching out to someone in need, starting a new spiritual practice, or joining a community group, take that first step. Continuously nurture your faith through prayer, study, and action, trusting that God will bring growth in His time. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the parable of the mustard seed. If you found this video inspiring, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more Bible short stories and spiritual insights. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'd love to hear your thoughts and reflections in the comments below. What small seeds of faith will you plant today? How has this parable impacted your understanding of the kingdom of God? Stay blessed, and remember, great things often start from the smallest seeds. See you in the next video.